Hello, welcome to the Learn English Lab. Today's focus is on English listening practice, diving into the topic. 30 plus C1 level vocabulary on crucial verbs. Welcome to the deep dive. Our mission today, well, it's pretty laser focused. We want to understand those core verbs that really lift everyday English into, truly sophisticated communication. We're talking about the C1 level here, that point where language isn't just functional anymore. It becomes a tool for real nuance, for strategy, for deep analysis.
That's absolutely right. And for you listening, this isn't just about memorizing words, not at all. Think of these verbs more like the engineering components of complex arguments, maybe.
Yeah.
They go way beyond simple actions.
Okay.
They help establish not just what happened, but the intent behind it, the cause, the consequence, even the relationship between different ideas or events.
Right.
So if you really want to sculpt a precise sentence, say, in a professional setting or academically, well, these verbs are pretty much indispensable tools.
Okay, let's jump right in then. Let's look at two verbs that I think really highlight this complexity gem. They show how one word can shift its whole feeling depending on where you use it. We're starting with to opt and to boast.
Right. Now, to opt, what's really interesting here is the range. It always means making a choice, sure. But the weight of that choice, that can vary enormously. So on one hand, you've got simple personal preference, like the example about consumers opting for organic food.
To avoid pesticides, yeah. That feels pretty low stakes, just a shopping decision.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then you see the same word used when the stakes are, well, much higher. Imagine a company facing serious market issues. They might opt to delay a huge product launch.
Okay.
Now, opt, there's signal something different. It's deliberate, it's strategic, probably came after a lot of discussion. It's definitely stronger than just saying they chose to delay.
It has a kind of formal feel to it, like a final decision after weighing things up.
It really does. That sense of formal resolution, picking one path from several options. And you shouldn't forget the administrative side, especially when you opt out of a service, like a subscription,
Right.
you're formalizing your withdrawal. It's standard, essential language for contracts, for compliance, that sort of thing.
Okay, got it. Now, let's switch gears to boast. This one, well, it usually feels negative, doesn't it?
It does. Traditionally, yeah, it comes with baggage. It means talking with excessive pride, maybe even annoyingly so, about what you've done.
Like the example. He couldn't help but boast about his promotion.
Yeah.
You can just picture colleagues rolling their eyes.
Exactly. Socially, it's often a negative.
Yeah.
But here's the C1 twist, the nuance we're talking about. Put it in a corporate context, and that negativity just evaporates. A company boasts a diverse workforce, or our software boasts faster processing.
So it becomes positive, like highlighting a strength.
Completely positive. It becomes synonymous with things like features or highlights or presence. It's actually a selling point.
That's fascinating, that shift in meaning based purely on context.
It is. And that's crucial for you at the advanced level.
Wow.
You're not just learning a definition. You're learning when a word suggests arrogance personally, but signals quality and confidence professionally.
Context is king, really drives that point home.
Absolute.
Okay, that sets us up perfectly for our first main section. We're looking at verbs related to commitment, authority, and sort of making things public. Let's start with to pledge. How's this different from just, promising something?
Well, to pledge adds a layer of seriousness, gravity, really, and often a degree of public accountability.
Yeah.
A promise can be casual, right? I promise I'll call.
Sure.
A pledge feels more formal. Often it's recorded, maybe even quasi-contractual. That's why you see it with big money donors pledge millions to the university.
Okay, so it's documented, serious, maybe legally or at least morally binding.
That's the feeling it conveys.
Yeah.
And it works for really high personal stakes, too. Think about ceremonies.
Like wedding vows.
Exactly. The couple pledged eternal love. That formality underlines the absolute serious nature of that commitment.
And in politics, I feel like I hear pledge used there a lot sometimes. Skeptically.
Oh, definitely. And that's where its strength can be used, ironically, when politicians pledge big reforms, but then don't deliver. The very weight of the word pledge makes the failure seem even worse. It highlights the gap, the hypocrisy sometimes.
Yeah.
Sets a really high bar.
So pledge is about a serious commitment looking forward. What about to proclaim? That sounds like a serious declaration happening now, like the voice of authority.
It absolutely is. To proclaim is all about making something public, official, and, well, undeniable, unequivocal. Historically, you think of kings, right? The king proclaimed a national holiday. It wasn't a suggestion, it was an official act. The word comes from Latin, meaning to cry out, publicly.
Does this still work today, though? Or does it sound a bit dated, like something only a king would do?
No, it's still very relevant, precisely because of that formality. It gives weight to the statement. Think about a judge in court. The judge proclaimed the verdict.
Ah, okay. That signals finality, the force of law.
Right. But it's not just for authority figures. Activists can use it powerfully, too. Activists proclaim their demands during a rally.
So it shifts it from just they said to something much stronger.
Much stronger. It means they announced it publicly, forcefully, demanding everyone to pay attention. It makes the announcement feel significant, almost monumental.
Okay. We've had public commitment with pledge, public declarations with proclaim. Now let's turn inward with to aspire. This feels like it's about the ambition itself. Very relevant for anyone aiming for C1 level, I imagine.
Definitely. To aspire is about setting high goals, often long-term ones. It suggests this internal drive, this striving towards excellence or a significant achievement.
Like athletes aspiring to Olympic medals.
Perfect example.
Right.
Or someone aspiring to lead a company. It captures that feeling of reaching for something big.
It feels like more than just wanting it, though. Is there an element of intention? Or maybe the purpose behind the effort?
Yes, I think so. It's not just about hitting a target. Artists, for instance, might aspire to evoke certain emotions. The verb really captures that deliberate, motivating purpose. It sets it apart from a simple desire. It's about the highest aim.
It's the drive itself.
Precisely. And for you, the learner, framing C1 proficiency as an aspiration, this high, worthwhile goal, kind of helps put the required effort into perspective, maybe. It's a word for deep, fundamental ambitions.
That makes sense. Thinking about aspirations leads us nicely into the actual mechanics of getting things done. Starting, stopping, continuing processes. Let's look at the flow. To initiate and to resume.
Okay, so to initiate, this is the verb for kicking off something significant, something that usually needs preparation, maybe some formal action. It implies starting a process where maybe nothing like it existed before, or at least not in that organized way.
Like a CEO initiating a big restructuring. That's not a small thing.
Not at all. It's a major administrative launch, not just a casual chat about maybe changing things.
It's the starting point. Like scientists initiating experiments for a new hypothesis. It marks the formal beginning.
Exactly. Even personally, if you initiate contact with someone new, you're taking that deliberate first step, starting something.
Okay, so if initiate is starting from scratch, to resume is hitting play again after a pause.
That's a great way to put it. The focus with resume is really on the break and then getting back to the original plan or schedule. Classes will resume after the holidays.
Right. Things were stopped. Now they're starting again. The structure is still there.
Precisely. It gives that sense of structure returning after a disruption. The meeting resumed after a coffee break.
Or personally, someone resuming their gym routine after an injury.
Perfect. The injury was the interruption. The routine itself continues.
Okay, let's shift to timing, especially in admin or legal stuff. The pair to renew and to expire, these feel very practical.
They are, and they govern the life cycle of validity. Super important in bureaucracy.
We all know to renew. You have to renew your passport or your driver's license before it expires.
Right. It's about extending something with a fixed term, dealing with compliance, deadlines. Very practical.
But renew can be used more broadly too, can it?
Oh, definitely. Organizations use it metaphorically all the time. A company might renew its brand image, its logo, maybe to appeal to a younger audience.
Ah, so it's not just paperwork then. It's like a strategic overhaul, a refresh.
Exactly. A kind of metaphorical rebirth aiming to extend the life or relevance of the brand.
And to expire. What's the specific feeling there beyond just ending?
It carries that sense of finality, often legal finality. When a license or warranty or maybe a special offer expires,
It's gone, void.
it's void. You lose the protection, the benefit, the right associated with it. That's the key implication. It forces you to pay attention to time limits in professional contexts.
Okay, the last one in this section.
Yeah.
To halt, stopping things, often suddenly.
Yes. Halt implies a stop, often abrupt, and usually deliberate or forced by circumstances. It suggests a complete arrest of motion or progress.
Like construction being halted by bad weather.
Good example.
Right.
Or maybe halted by new regulations that just came in. It's often an external factor forcing the stop.
But it can be internal too, right? Like in manufacturing.
Absolutely. You halt production immediately if you find a defect. That's a proactive, intentional stop to prevent bigger problems down the line.
Okay.
And of course, in enforcement, a police officer halts a speeding car. The word itself has that feeling of decisive intervention. It's stronger, more forceful than just stop.
Got it. So we've looked at starting and stopping. Now let's dig into why things start. The causes, the sources. We have to be originate and to stem. They both point to a source, but they feel different.
They do, and getting this distinction right is definitely C1 territory. To originate usually traces something back to its beginning point in time or its specific source location.
Like a tradition originating from ancient rituals, or a river originating in the mountains.
Exactly. It's often about that literal starting point, the genesis.
So history, geography, maybe invention. An idea can originate in a flash of insight.
Precisely. Identifying that specific spark or moment of creation. Now, contrast that with to stem. It also implies a source, but it's much more about derivation, about causation.
How so?
Well, think of a plant. The problems, the fruit, maybe stem from poor communication, the stem connecting to the root cause. It's metaphorical.
Ah, okay. So stem from links a current situation back to its ongoing cause.
That's a really good way to think about it. Her confidence stems from years of experience. The confidence is derived directly, continuously from that base of experience.
So rule of thumb, originate for the birth point, stem for the ongoing causal link.
That's a very useful rule of thumb, yes. Like economic growth stems from innovation. You wouldn't really say it originates from innovation in the same way. Stems from suggests that ongoing relationship.
Okay. Now, once something starts, it needs to become visible, right? That brings us to manifest. How is this different from just appearing?
To manifest suggests something inherent, a quality, a feeling, maybe an illness, is now becoming clearly visible or apparent, often gradually. It has a slightly more formal, sometimes even psychological feel.
Like symptoms manifesting after someone's been exposed to something.
Perfect example. It implies that process of the internal becoming external, observable.
I also think of talent. Like his musical talent manifested itself very early on. It wasn't just shown, it kind of emerged naturally.
Exactly. It suggests an inherent quality coming out. And in, say, policy analysis, you look for effects to manifest. The positive effects of the new policy finally manifested in better efficiency numbers.
So it's the observable evidence of the underlying cause or quality?
Precisely. It's a powerful verb suggesting emergence, making something undeniable.
All right, moving into our next big group. These verbs seem crucial for building complex arguments, especially in business or academia. They're about structure, how things fit together, synergy. Let's start with the basics. To constitute. What makes something up?
Right. To constitute is about being the essential parts that form a whole. These three key elements constitute the core of the theory. Remove one, and the theory doesn't hold up.
So it emphasizes that these parts are essential, like volunteers constitute the backbone of the charity, meaning without them, it wouldn't function. Much stronger than just saying they're part of it.
Exactly. It defines the necessary components. Or, these ingredients constitute a balanced meal. It's about defining what's required to make the thing what it is.
Okay. So once we have the parts, how do they work together? We have to coordinate and to complement. How do we keep those straight?
Good question. To coordinate is all about logistics and organization, making sure different parts or people work together smoothly in sync.
Like coordinating shipments for a deadline, or maybe coordinating everyone's schedules for a meeting.
Precisely. It's about planning and execution, making sure A, B, and C happen correctly together. Whereas to complement, and notice the spelling, C-O-M-P-L-E-N-E-T.
With an E? Okay.
Right. This one is purely about quality. It means enhancing something else, completing it, making the whole better. Her analytical skills complement his creative thinking perfectly.
Or the wine complements the cheese. It makes the experience better.
Exactly. The quality of the whole is improved because the parts work well together aesthetically or functionally.
That E versus I thing is huge, isn't it? Because compliment with an I is just praise.
Absolutely critical. Getting that right is a real sign of advanced understanding. Compliment enhances, compliment praises. Totally different meanings.
Okay, noted. Now let's talk about alignment. We have to coincide and to correspond.
Right. To coincide is mainly about timing or happening in the same place. The festival coincides with the bank holiday weekend. They happen simultaneously.
And this can cause issues, right? Like all my project deadlines coincide in the same week.
Exactly. That increases pressure. It's about that temporal overlap.
So to correspond isn't about time.
Not usually. To correspond is about matching up, relating to or agreeing with something else, usually information or accounts. The data we collected corresponds to the official predictions.
So it's about checking if things align. Like his statement corresponds with what the witnesses saw.
Precisely. It implies verification, checking if two separate pieces of information or narratives match up.
Okay. And the last one in this structure section, to consolidate. This sounds strategic, like pulling things together.
It is. To consolidate means combining different things, usually to make them stronger, more efficient, or easier to manage.
Like in business, consolidating departments.
Classic example. To achieve better synergy, cut costs, streamline management.
Or personally, people consolidate their debts into one loan. Makes it easier to handle.
Exactly. It's a functional strategy for efficiency. You even see it in learning or training. An athlete needs to consolidate their games after intense practice.
Meaning
making sure those improvements stick, become integrated, and are durable. Not just a temporary boost, making the structure stronger.
Right, solidifying the progress. Okay, that makes sense. Now this next section feels heavier. We're moving into verbs about hardship, struggle, and how we deal with it, starting with those describing negative impacts: to suppress, to deprive, and to displace.
Yes, these carry significant weight, often used in contexts like international relations, social issues, very important C1 vocabulary. Let's take to suppress. It's about stopping something, usually using force or authority, preventing it from being active, seen, or heard.
Like a government suppressing protests or dissent.
Exactly. Using censorship, maybe arrests, to keep opposing voices down. The key idea is that the thing being suppressed is still there, just held back forcibly.
But it's not always political, is it? I think I've heard it in medicine.
You have. It scales down. You can take medicine to suppress a cough or suppress an unwanted immune reaction. The core, meaning stopping unwanted activity, is the same, but the context is vastly different.
Okay, next. To deprive. This sounds like taking something essential away.
It is. It means withholding necessities, rights, or opportunities. It often highlights a systemic issue. Poverty can deprive children of good nutrition or education.
Or an embargo might deprive a country of vital supplies.
Right. It describes stripping something essential away, causing significant harm.
And personally, we talk about sleep deprivation, right?
We do. It deprives the body and mind of necessary rest, leading to problems. The verb emphasizes that lack of something crucial.
And the third one here, to displace. This is about forced movement.
Yes, exactly. Forced movement due to negative events.
We hear it constantly with crises. War displaces millions, making them refugees. Natural disasters like floods or earthquakes displace communities.
The force is external, often catastrophic, making people leave their homes. It's also used, sometimes controversially, in development. A big new construction project might displace existing residents or businesses, even if they get compensation. The core is still forced relocation.
Okay, those are tough ones. Now for the other side. Coping, making things less severe. To ease and to err.
Right. To ease is about actively reducing the severity of something negative. It's about mitigation.
Like medicine easing pain. Or maybe negotiations easing political tensions.
Both are perfect examples. It implies a noticeable reduction in the negative force or feeling.
Even simple things like deep breathing exercises can ease anxiety. It's about applying relief.
Exactly. And then to endure is almost the necessary partner to hardship. It's about resilience, tolerating, bearing something difficult, often for a longer-term goal.
Like having to endure a really difficult commute to keep a job you value.
Yes, or enduring temporary hardship to achieve a future goal. It speaks to stamina, persistence.
Does it apply to things too, not just people?
Oh, definitely. Material science uses it a lot. This material is designed to endure extreme heat or pressure. It talks about the capacity to withstand stress without failing. Whether it's people or materials, endure is about that necessary durability.
Okay, let's shift again now to the level of policy, implementation, growth, verbs for making things happen officially, starting with to enact. This sounds very formal.
It is. To enact is strongly tied to lawmaking and governmental power. Parliament enacts legislation. It's the formal process of turning a bill or proposal into an official, binding law or rule.
So it's not just making a law, it's the official act, establishing it by authority.
Precisely. It carries the full weight of that formal process. Governments need to enact emergency measures quickly in a crisis. It signals that official, authoritative action.
Okay, so if a law is enacted, how far does it reach? That sounds like to encompass.
Yes, to encompass is about scope. It means to include a wide range, suggesting breadth and comprehensiveness. A good history course should encompass social, economic, and political perspectives.
So it defines the boundaries, but implies they are quite wide.
Generally, yes, it suggests thoroughness. A manager's role might encompass several different departments. It's a key word for defining the full extent of a job, a field of study, or the reach of a policy.
All right, now for two verbs that seem related to support and growth. To foster and to facilitate, how are they different?
They both promote positive development, but in slightly different ways.
Yeah.
To foster feels more like nurturing, encouraging growth over time, creating the right conditions.
Like policies designed to foster innovation, or parents trying to foster creativity in their kids.
Exactly. It's about encouraging something desirable to develop by providing the right environment and support, nurturing potential.
And to facilitate, that sounds more practical.
It is. To facilitate means to make a process or action easier or more possible, often by removing obstacles or providing tools.
Like technology facilitating remote work,
Yeah.
or a good workshop structure facilitating learning.
Perfect examples.
Yeah.
Facilitate is about enabling, smoothing the path. Foster is more about encouraging the growth that happens on that path. Does that distinction make sense?
Yes, it does. Facilitate removes barriers. Foster encourages growth.
Got it. Last one in this group.
To embed.
This sounds like really integrating something deeply. It does. To embed means to fix something firmly and deeply within something else, a surrounding structure or context. Metaphorically, it's powerful. Values need to be embedded through education and experience so they become a core part of someone's character.
Okay, so it suggests permanence.
Yes, deep integration. Think about journalists who embed with troops. They're not just observing, they're deeply integrated into that unit's daily life.
Right, or technically you embed code into a web page, it becomes a fixed functional part of it.
Exactly. It's about making something an integral, often essential, part of a larger whole.
Okay, we're nearing the end. This next section deals with risk, especially financial, but also ethical issues. Let's start with to incur.
Sounds like something you don't want to do.
Generally not. To incur is the formal way to say you've brought costs, expenses, or penalties upon yourself. Often it's an unavoidable consequence of something else.
Look, if you pay a bill late, you incur a fee. You didn't choose the fee, but you get it because of the late payment. Precisely. Or a project incurs unexpected costs due to delays or problems. It describes taking on that liability, that negative consequence.
And in compliance, breaking rules.
Absolutely. Violating safety regulations will likely incur heavy fines or legal action. It's the formal term for being subjected to those penalties.
So that's passive liability. What about actively taking a risk? We have to venture.
To venture is all about intentionally putting something valuable, money, reputation, even safety at risk, usually hoping for a gain.
Ah, like venture capital. Investors venture money on risky startups.
Exactly. That's the classic example. But it applies elsewhere too. A scientist might venture their reputation on a controversial theory.
Or explorers venturing into the unknown. Putting safety on the line for discovery requires boldness.
It does. Now, another kind of personal risk, often more about self-control, is to indulge.
This one sounds nicer, like indulging in a piece of cake.
It can be nice, allowing yourself enjoyment, pleasure. We might indulge in a relaxing massage. That's positive.
But there's often a catch, isn't there? A warning.
Yes, that's the C1 nuance. While enjoying something nice is fine, the word indulge often carries an implicit warning against excess, especially indulging bad habits.
Like, don't indulge your tendency to procrastinate.
Exactly. Or don't indulge in unhealthy food too often. The word itself subtly signals that potential cost or lack of discipline, even when talking about pleasure.
Okay. And the last one here, the really negative one. To double trust. This sounds worse than just betraying someone.
It is. It implies deceit within a partnership or a shared plan. You agree to do something together, and then one person secretly undermines the others for their own gain.
So it requires that element of collusion first, then betrayal.
Precisely. You see it all the time in spy thrillers or crime stories. The agent double-crossed their contact.
Or in business, partners double-crossing each other.
Yes, though hopefully less common. But it describes that specific kind of treachery, breaking an agreement from within. It implies a really serious violation of trust and cooperation.
Okay, final section. Verbs describing strong impacts and then decline. Let's start with impact. To evoke and to hail.
Right. To evoke is about triggering a response, usually something internal, an emotion, a memory, a feeling. That smell evokes memories of my grandmother's kitchen.
So it's about calling something forth from inside.
Yes, bringing it to mind, often quite powerfully. Art can evoke feelings of joy or sadness. Music evokes nostalgia. It's about that strong, triggered internal response.
And to hail, that sounds very different, very external.
Completely external. To hail means to praise something or someone enthusiastically, publicly, acclaim. Critics hailed the performance as groundbreaking.
So it's widespread, positive recognition, fans hailing a sports champion.
Exactly. It implies loud public celebration and high regard. Experts might hail a new scientific discovery as revolutionary. It's strong, positive public impact.
Okay, and then we end with the opposite, to decay, the process of decline.
Yes, to decay is about gradual destruction or deterioration, usually through natural processes.
Like wood decaying if it's left out in the rain, or teeth decaying without proper care, physical breakdown.
Those are the literal meanings. But the metaphorical use is really key at the C1 level. We talk about relationships decaying if communication breaks down.
Ah, so applying that idea of natural rot to abstract things.
Exactly. Or trust can decay. Public institutions can decay if neglected. It powerfully suggests that ongoing maintenance and care are needed to prevent deterioration, whether it's physical or abstract.
Wow, okay. That covers a lot of ground. 36 verbs, each with its own specific shade of meaning. This really has been quite a rigorous journey through these C1 level verbs. We've gone from things like enacting policy to enduring tough times to coordinating complex projects. I think the main takeaway for me, and hopefully for you listening, is how crucial the right verb is for conveying the precise intent, the precise weight of what you want to say at this level.
It really is the ultimate goal, isn't it? When you master these verbs, you gain this incredible power to articulate complex relationships, not just what happened, but the causation behind it, like how problems stem from something.
Right.
Or the consequences, the costs you might incur, or how you might mitigate things, how actions can ease tensions. You move beyond just describing simple events. You start performing complex analysis in your language, and that knowledge, it genuinely transforms your speaking and writing. It takes it from being just, transactional to being sophisticated, nuanced, and much more authoritative.
So connecting this back to you, the learner, what can you do with all this? Well, here's a challenge, maybe. Think about the themes we discussed. Implementation, structure, maybe risk. Try to consciously enact one of these verbs in your own life this week.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, maybe you need to really coordinate a complicated family gathering with more focus on the logistics. Or perhaps you could actively try to foster a new skill at work. Really think about creating the right conditions for yourself or someone else to learn.
I like that.
See how deliberately choosing and using one of these high-level verbs actually changes how you think about and approach the task itself.
It forces you to operate with that C1 level of intent and strategy, a great way to internalize them.
Exactly. Well, we hope this deep dive has been valuable. If you found value in this deep dive, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to this YouTube channel.